Okay, just started my recording. So welcome again in this session, this is the 2 hour session of this week, and we are in the third week of lecture. So by this week, I hope that we will finish discussing about topic 1. So this is the third part of the tutorial. We have 3 series of tutorial starting from last week, and I hope that in this third session of the tutorial, we will finish discussing all of the exercise and problem questions that remain. So then from next week, next week on Thursday, we will have a public holiday, right? Public holiday on Thursday next week. So we have only 1 hour class lah. 1 hour class on Wednesday on next week. Maybe on next week tu saya tak sure lagi sama ada nak buat quiz ataupun nak terus saja ke second chapter ataupun second topic, because based on the MyCA constructive alignment itu, your quiz supposed to be twice, 2 kali saja. Maksudnya sama ada when I finish second topic then I'll do the quiz, ataupun after finish everything then I'll do the quiz. It depends. So basically, if I don't start the quiz next week, meaning that we will just continue topic 2, just topic 2 modeling, mathematical modeling. So without further ado, let us just move to our discussion on the tutorial E112 here. Okay, I will read the questions first. Okay, I hope you can see both the question on my left hand side and the drawing canvas on my right hand side. This is inverted pendulum. So E12 is about UAV, which is unmanned aerial vehicle, ataupun lebih dikenali sebagai drone lah. Drone. So drone basically dia ada jenis yang quadcopter, which is something like this. This is the quadcopter based drone. Ada juga yang bentuk macam kapal terbang biasa, ada. Yang pergi berperang banyak jenis yang macam ni lah. Dia ada radar, So unmanned aerial vehicle basically dia tak ada pilot lah. That's why dia unmanned. No pilot. It is based on the ground controller. Macam sistem kaitan dengan aircraft, E-enable. Yang ni E-enable. Drone ni pun sama, dia ada controller. So pilot dia berada di ground lah. Ada di ground lah. As long as that drone is within the range, so kita boleh control. So unmanned aerial vehicle is statement actually bila kita dalam akademik kita panggil unmanned aerial vehicle lah. Okay. Ataupun nama biasanya adalah drone. So unmanned aerial vehicle UAV are being developed to operate in the air autonomously for long period of time. Okay, by autonomous we mean that there is no interaction with human ground controllers. Autonomous means no interaction with human ground controllers. So drone ni kita boleh control ataupun kita boleh set autonomous mode. So masa autonomous mode tu dia berlaku feedback control lah. Masa autonomous mode akan ada proses berkaitan dengan feedback control. Okay, sketch a block diagram of an autonomous UAV that is tasked for crop monitoring using aerial photography. The UAV must photograph and transmit the entire land area by flying a pre-specified trajectory as accurately as possible. Meaning that when in the crop monitoring kan, kita panggil apa? Kita panggil high precision punya teknologi, okay? High precision farming, precision farming kan? Precision farming precision farming kan. Biasanya bukan biasa lah, benda ni baru kan. Di Malaysia pun diwawalkan macam tu. Not all of the ladang kat luar sana menggunakan drone lah kan. Sebab dia costly So dalam precision farming ni teknologi, they will use drone lah as a for crop monitoring, for untuk proses all agricultural process lah, including apa proses kita panggil harvesting ke, harvesting tak lah kan. Mungkin dari segi yang awal-awal tu kan, proses meracun, okay, monitor dia punya growth of the crops kan. So dia akan menggunakan UAV. Sekejap Okay, dalam crop farming crop farming ini, crop monitoring lah. Untuk farming menggunakan UAV ni, dalam case ni, the task of the UAV is for crop monitoring, which is using aerial photography. Ada kamera lah, ada kamera, dia ambil gambar, okay, then dia akan proses gambar tu untuk evaluate whether the crop is ready to be harvest or not. Dia monitor lah progress, the growth of the crops, the growth of the, like in paddy field, dalam apa-apa saja penanaman, biasanya kan penanaman berbuah kan, dia ada tempoh-tempoh tertentu sebelum kita boleh harvest. Okay, so UAV must photograph and transmit the entire land area by flying a pre-specified trajectory as accurately as possible. So sebenarnya kalau ikut illustration ni sebenarnya kan, dalam proses ni, let's say this is the drone, yang ni adalah drone. So basically dalam drone ni telah diprogramkan lah, dah diprogramkan map dalam dia, dan algorithm dalam tu. So dia akan ambil gambar, so dia akan proses menggunakan algorithm dia, dan dia ada map lah untuk dia pergi ke area-area yang diprogramkan tu untuk dia ambil gambar, ada proses that gambar lah. Okay, so akan ada location, something like coordinates. So make sure that you read carefully here and see what are potential keywords that we can use for the block diagram, the control system block diagram. So this is E12 block diagram, which is the process of the control system, closed loop control system for the unmanned area vehicle used for crop monitoring in autonomous mode. Kan manual mode lah, autonomous. So start from specified flight what D lepas tu error of D, okay, akan diproses oleh controller, and then ada UAV as a plant UAV menerima signal daripada controller, and then flight dia akan terbang lah. Flight punya apa? Flight punya, bila dia terbang, dia pergi ke satu tempat kan. So akan ada sensor juga. What type of sensor? And this sensor is sensing what sort of apa dia sensor tu. So dalam ayat tadi, perhatikan ada keyword yang kita boleh gunakan lah. So apa sensor? B, correlation algorithm, and C, with respect to the ground. Okay. kat mana lah? Chat box tengok chat box sekejap. Chat box, okey, chat box. Selamat pagi. Selamat pagi. Okey. Mana ni kali ni? Introduction topic, tutorial exercise. Sekejap. So apa A, B, C and D? Can you guess what is A, B, C and D? For the closed loop control system of the UAV or drone that is working autonomously for crop monitoring. So as described in the questions lah. Okay. So A is sensor. So what sort of sensor that the drone use? Normally in this case we can yes, a radar or camera. Okay. So that is sensor lah, sensors that are used in drone. So in this case for crop monitoring, it will use camera. Camera is a sensor. Camera. And then B is also dalam feedback juga, dalam feedback mechanism tu. B berkaitan dengan sensor. Lepas dia sensing tu, ground photo dihantar kepada apa? B correlation algorithm. So dia akan hantar kepada correlation algorithm. Apa correlation algorithm? So this drone should start from one location and you will go to the another location, right? So suppose it will have a sort of correlation algorithm that process the what? That process location. When we talk about location, yes, we are actually talking about map. Ya, map. Dalam ni ada keywords dia. The map. So map correlation algorithm. Map correlation algorithm. So dia akan hantar foto tu, dia ambil capture the photo and then hantar the photo kepada map correlation algorithm and then C with respect to ground. What is C with respect to ground? Yes, a location with respect to the ground. So once it process the map, right, the photo using the map correlation algorithm, then it will send the signal which is C, the location with respect to the ground. Dia ambil gambar, dia proses dalam map dia, baru dia dapat koordinat lah. Okay, coordinate which is the location with respect to the ground. So this is C is the location. And then the location will be compared with the specified flight what? Dalam soalan ni dia ada bagi tahu pre-specified trajectory. Okay, trajectory. Okay, so that's it. One A, B, C, D. A is the camera capture and then send the photo to the map correlation algorithm, and then based on this algorithm processing so and so forth, dia akan keluarkan satu signal untuk dihantar kepada input which is location with respect to the ground. Then the location with respect to the ground will be compared with the specified flight trajectory. Okay, so location semasa dia, yang C ni location semasa, yang ni dia punya trajectory dia lah, sepatutnya laluan dia, laluannya sepatutnya. Kalau ikut path ni dalam map ni kan, the suppose the trajectory is based on this dot punya laluan ni kan, path and then it will process based on the camera photo processing, and then error akan diproses oleh controller supaya apa dia buat, supaya drone ni sentiasa follow the correct path, follow the correct path. So drone akan ikut path ni lah, dia akan proses the error lah, error processing controller. Okay, so basically coordinate, katalah let's say this is coordinate x, y kan. So yang tu, lepas tu ada x, y trajectory, y trajectory kan. So dia akan compare lah, xt tolak dengan x, berapa error dia, error x, error y. So dia akan proses error ni dan hantar kepada drone, hantar kepada UAV. Dia akan control lah, control dari segi motor dia ke, speed of the motor, apa semua tu kan. Okay. Next, E12. After E12, we have E13, which is this exercise questions is related to inverted pendulum. Inverted pendulum. Inverted pendulum ni guna dia untuk apa? Dalam eksperimen inverted pendulum, ada tak satu gambar saya nak tunjuk untuk nak nampak lebih jelas lah gambaran atau faham berkenaan dengan ni. Okey, ada macam gelas kan sini kan, dia letak gelas ni, and then ada card, balancing card. A simple robotic system around 1976, lama dah. The card contains a servo system which monitors the angle of the rod and move card back and forth to keep it upright. So nak bagi balance lah, nak bagi balance ni, ada gelas ni kat sini, supaya tak jatuh kan, dia akan pergi back and forth. Robot ni akan pergi back and forth supaya dia balance. So in that process, it is actually to maintain the theta ni, to maintain the theta ni at zero lah. Okay, dia akan ada motor, akan ada optical encoder as a sensor to measure the angle, the actual angle, and then the controller will process the error so that this theta will always be zero. Maksudnya dia punya reference adalah inilah angle ni, mesti dia set mesti always zero. So dalam case ni actualnya adalah angle lah, angle. So basically by regulating or controlling the angle theta to zero, meaning that it is actually maintaining dia punya mesh ni berada pada tepat-tepat pada 0 degree angle lah, zenith angle tu kan. Okay, soalannya, let me just read the questions first. Consider the inverted pendulum shown in the figure. Sketch the block diagram of the feedback control system using figure 39. In this case, as the model, using the figure 13 as the model, identify the process, sensor, actuator, and controller. The objective is to keep the pendulum in the upright position, that is to keep theta equals to 0 in the presence of disturbances. So one type of disturbance in this case is the wind. For example, wind is one of the disturbance. Okay. So ada keywords lah kat sini, optical encoder, angle kan. So based on that keywords, this is the closed loop control system. So this is another example of the closed loop control system, inverted pendulum. So an inverted pendulum control system using an optical encoder to measure the angle of the pendulum and a motor producing a control torque. So clearly in this case, we can identify what is the actuator, what is the process, what is the measurement. So we'll start with A, actuator. What is the actuator of this inverted pendulum? Clearly, it is mentioned there, one of the famous type of actuator is motor, ya. Motor ke, motor driver ke, itu antara actuator. Okay. Okay. So B, so actuator motor ni, motor akan menghasilkan torque lah, torque, rotational twisting force tu kan, akan menghasilkan torque untuk dihantar kepada proses. What is the process? We are talking about inverted pendulum. So the process is the whole system. Inilah. Okay. Okay, the process is the whole system. The system we are talking about is pendulum. So C, measurement. So it was mentioned in the question that there is the what is the item? What's the thing that we use in the inverted pendulum to detect the angle, which is the sensor that is used to detect the angle of the pendulum. Apa dia? So clearly ada dalam soalan tu juga, clearly it is about optical encoder. Okay, the sensor is optical encoder. Right, thank you, Yvonne. D, measured what? Yes, measured angle. Yep. Okay, so easy, yeah. This one is quite easy. Okay, we move on to some problems questions, which is we have only 5 problems here to be discussed today. All right, I will just straightly move to P1-1. Okay, P1.1 here. So as you can see, sorry ya, blur sikit ya. Buku tu lama kan, saya crop, so dia jadi blur macam tu kan. I was looking for edition 14 e-book. Dalam library kita pun tak ada lagi saya rasa yang 14 punya. Okay, problem P1-1, P1.1 ni, many luxury automobiles have thermostatically controlled air conditioning system for the comfort of the passengers. Sketch a block diagram of an air conditioning system where the driver set the desired interior temperature and a dashboard panel. Identify the function of each element of the thermostatically controlled or cooling system. Thermostat. Let's say this is sort of thermostat. Thermostat. Thermostat is one of the sensor to sense the temperature lah. Okay, thermostat ni banyak dalam kereta, dalam sistem penyejukan kereta. Yang ni untuk aircon kan. Ini untuk aircon, diguna thermostat juga. Untuk sistem penyejukan, cooling system kereta. Kereta bila awak isi, bukan awak isi minyak aja. Air pun kena isi kan. Air itulah untuk cooling untuk cooling. So ada satu komponen dalam cooling system ini, katalah cooling hose dia. Dia akan ada satu komponen panggil thermostat Thermostat ni bila at certain temperature, okay, dia akan mengembang mengucup lah untuk dia control the flow. Dia macam valve juga macam valve. It's like a valve. Dia akan buka tutup untuk pastikan flow of the water lah inside the cooling system of the car for engine cooling. But in this case, we are talking about thermostat that is used to control the temperature for air conditioning system. So meaning that it is not we do not put this thermostat in something like liquid something, but more to sensing the environment temperature. Okay, macam kat luar ada outdoor unit aircon kan, outdoor unit aircon. Perasan tak? Kalau pergi kat belakang unit outdoor unit aircon tu ada satu sensor. Ada satu sensor. Outdoor sensor dalam bunyi udara. Ada outdoor sensor. So aircon juga berfungsi close, very close to this automobile punya aircon, house punya aircon tu sama saja. Lebih kurang ada thermostat, and then thermostat tu akan hantar berapa degree C, berapa degree C, do the measurement, actual measurement, berapa degree C, and then hantar kepada processor, dan proses dapat error bagi kat controller. Dalam case ni controller adalah electronic controller lah, electronic controller. Dan electronic controller tu akan bagi signal atau bagi syarat kepada actuator. Dalam case aircon ni, actuatornya adalah motor lah, compressor kan. Compressor dia punya engine dia kat situ adalah motor. So motor tu akan berpusing lah untuk control so that cooling tu berada pada tahap setting temperature lah. Let's say in any building biasanya kita set 23, 24 is the most optimal temperature lah. Okay, based on the comfortness. Ini ini letak sampai 17 kan. Nak belajar pun sejuk. Sejuk. Sebab tak comfort tak boleh juga. Energy must be something that can comfort in terms of pengguna tu mesti comfort, dan pada masa yang sama kita tak boleh waste energy kan. Okey, mana saya dah pergi ke mana tadi? Sketch a block diagram. Okay, so in this problem question, it asks you to sketch the block diagram. Dia tidak diberi sebenarnya, satu figure ni tidak diberi lah. So you kena fikir sendiri and then sketch this sort of block diagram. Okay, basically you will be sebenarnya ada guideline lah, ada dalam series of kita punya lecture notes tu. Basically kita akan ada controller, okay, kita akan ada process, plant kan, and then bila ada feedback ni kita akan ada measurement system lah in terms of sensing mechanism, dan ada input, ada output, tu je. So in general view kita kena imagine that we are sketching this sort of block diagram lah. Okay, then lepas tu lah kita fikir apakah dia controller, apakah dia process, pasal measurement, feedback, dan apa benda yang di measured, dan apa signal yang diproses kat situ. So we go one by one. Suppose the block diagram should looks like this lah. If you are asked to sketch the block diagram, suppose it should look like this, and then fill in all of the components lah, controller, process, measurement, so on. So A, controller. In automobile interior cabin temperature control system, what is the controller? So what is the controller for automobile interior temperature control system? Dalam soalan ni, dalam soalan jawapannya, itu thermostat. Thermostat and air conditioning unit. Let's have a look back. Ada tak thermostat muncul dalam kita punya ni? Thermostat dalam kita punya yang lepas tu ada tak? Kenapa controller tu thermostat? Thermostat is actuator or sensor? Word match. Thermocouple. Thermocouple satu. Satu lagi thermostat. F temperature. Okay, temperature sensors which is thermocouple. Uh, we are always learners. So let me check. Let me have a check. Thermocouple, thermostat. Apa beza thermocouple dengan thermostat ni? Okay, thermostat ni autonomous temperature sensitive coolant valve. Dia macam valve. Dia macam valve. So that's why dia masuk dalam proses. Masuk dalam proses. Thermostat adalah untuk temperature sensing. So, meaning that does a thermostat use a thermocouple? The temperature sensor in thermostat. So, istilah-istilah tu, make sure kalau untuk temperature ni, we use the thermocouple. Thermocouple. Okay. So, thermostat ni, yang saya cerita pasal engine kereta cooling system tadi, dia akan buka tutup. Dia macam valve. Dia macam valve. So, we can imagine that thermostat ni is like a valve, mechanical valve. Kalau thermocouple is sensor sensor to sense the temperature. Okay, itu beza kat situ thermostat, thermocouple. So in this case, when we move on, we go to the P1-2 ni block diagram ni, P1-1 block diagram ni. Automobile interior cabin temperature control system. Controller is thermostat and aircon unit. Meaning that dalam istilah lain, aircon unit dengan dalam istilah lain kat sini, dia seolah-olah macam, saya tulis kat sini seolah-olah macam valve plus the motor. Okay, dia punya controller, motor driver, valve or motor driver. Okay, B, process. Process is automobile cabin. Process is automobile cabin. What sort of output? It is automobile cabin temperature. Automobile cabin temperature is output. And then actual output ni, feedback ni, what sort of measurement? So measurement ni lah, barulah temperature sensor. Thermocouple lah. Ataupun thermocouple. Okay, thermocouple. C, thermocouple. D, betul, betul. Thermostat means thermostatically controlled, ada dalam soalan ya, saya cakap. Betul. And then sensing mechanism is thermocouple. Okay, so jangan tertukar, jangan tertukar. Thermocouple and thermostat. Right. So D is temperature sensor ini akan hantar apa? Signal apa? Dia akan hantar temperature lah. Measured temperature. So measured temperature will be compared with the desired temperature. Let's say I set this cabin temperature at 18 degree C kan. So actual ni, hari yang panas terik tengah hari, katalah actual dia detect 20 kan. So bezanya error kat situ adalah negatif 2 lah. Negatif 2 . Okay, P1-1 settle. We move on to P1.2, which is another thing. This one also very straightforward, which is a simple case of human operator. Okay, there is a human operator here controlling the level of the water. This is a closed loop system juga, closed loop system. So control system use a human operator, this guy, as part of the closed loop control system. Sketch the block diagram of the valve control system shown in figure P1.2. Okay, ada fluid masuk, and it will pass through this valve, ada valve. Okay, operator ni akan control that valve. This operator will control that valve. This operator will control that valve to control the flow of the fluid inside into the tank, yeah, and then output. So sketch the block diagram. Okay, sketch the block diagram. Suppose that the block diagram also should looks like this lah. Looks like the one we see in the previous example, in the previous problem P1-1 ini. Okay. Basically, it will have controller, process, output, measurement, and then reference. So A, B, C, D. Okay. So A, what is the controller? The controller is valve. Kalau jawab human and valve, okay lah, acceptable lah. Okay. So the controller is valve or human and valve. So valve, betul lah, human lah. Kalau tak valve tu tak akan buka tutup dengan sendiri kan. Human and valve. Okay, the controller is valve. B, process. What sort of process? Fluid input, fluid output. Proses adalah this tank lah. Okay. So in this case, the process is tank. Process is tank. Water level. Water level. Kalau jawab water level, hampir tepat juga tu lah. Nanti saya fikirlah. Ha? So dalam skema jawapan ni, proses adalah tank. And then C, measurement. Measurement is ada tak dalam gambar? Nampak tak ni? Measurement is meter ya. And then finally D apa? Desired apa? Output dia apa? Desired fluid. Desired fluid output lah. Sebab kat sini pun ada hint dia. Visual indication of fluid output compared to the desired fluid output. Okay. So desired fluid output will be processed by comparing with the visual indication of the fluid output. And then once the operator see the difference, okay, level to difference level, then that is the error actually. Then the controller is actually the man, the operator and the valve. Valve and operator is the controller. So the controller will be sent to the process. So the process is referring to the tank, to the tank with water inside. So the process is the tank with water inside. And the output is the desired level of fluid. Desired fluid output lah. Desired fluid output bukan level lah. Bukan level. Tapi fluid output. Berapa banyak kita nak dia keluar. Flow. Flowing out from the mulut of the, tu kan, kepala pipe ke depan tu kan. Then actual measurement based on the meter lah. Meter ni. Kalau yang gambar yang sebelum ni dalam draft yang lama kan, dia bukan letak meter kot kan. Dia letak macam, orang ni terus nampak level air kat sini kan. Masa macam tu kot. Ni gambar edition 14 ya. Yang edition 13, we got different picture lah. This. Okay. So next, we move on to next question. We have another 3 questions, 3 problems questions to be discussed. We have arrived 5 minutes now. Maybe I will just continue. So bila kita habis 3 soalan ni, kita akan habislah kelas ni ya. Okay, P1-3, in a chemical process control system, it is valuable to control the chemical composition of the product. To do so, a measurement of the composition can be obtained by using the infrared stream analyzer. Ini ya. Infrared stream analyzer as shown in figure P1.3. The valve of the additive habis kat situ. The valve of the additive soalan habis kat situ. Sebenarnya ada sambungan dia. Okay, basically, ini adalah chemical composition control. Basically, it has output, okay, and input. Okay, chemical akan masuk dalam pipe ni. So, akan lalu dalam pipe ini. And then, dia akan ada measurement of the composition. Let's say, chemical ni apa contohnya? Let's say, kita nak masukkan kita punya catalyze. Catalyze. Berapa banyak catalyze kita nak masukkan dalam liquid ni? So, akan ada sensor lah. Dalam in terms of infrared analyzer tu, dia punya sensor. Okay. So dia akan ambil sampel tube, berapa composition catalyze yang dah ada dalam ni. So measurement, dan dia akan bagi kepada controller lah. Controller akan open or close this valve so that adequate amount of the additive ataupun catalyze ke apa boleh dimasukkan dalam pipe ni. Okay, itu dia punya proses lah. So basically when you are being asked to sketch a block diagram of the control system, what you should do is just to remember, make sure that you put everything is in correct position lah, which is the controller, you have the process, make sure the arrow, kalau lukis arrow tu, kalau you sketch arrow, make sure ada direction dia. Sebab we are talking about process. Control is something about process. So make sure when you draw the arrow pun, arrow kalau to the right hand side daripada A ke B, maksudnya kena arrow yang betul lah. And then output ada arrow lagi. Kalau tak ada kepala ni, saya tak tahu ni arrow arah dia ke arah mana kan. Dan feedback pun sama. Kalau kita buat arrow, kita buat macam ni, kita tak tahu kan bergerak daripada mana ke mana. Kalau buat ke sini, feed forward kan, jadi feed forward. So make sure when you sketch a diagram, carefully sketch the diagram lah. Okay, so A is the controller, B is process, C is the measurement, D is the desired input and output. Desired what? Okay, in this case, just remember the process here. We have the measurement. What is the measurement? What is the controller? What is the process or plan? We'll start with okay. A, apa dia punya controller? What is the controller? In chemical composition control block diagram, what is the controller? So the controller is, yes, valve. Valve is the controller. So remember, banyak case dalam soalan berkaitan control system. Kalau very common adalah controller valve lah, valve controller. Lepas tu proses ataupun plant, actuator apa semua tu banyak pergi kepada macam motor. Okay. Controller, valve, motor driver, dia punya plant ataupun actuator adalah motor. Okay. So in this chemical composition control system, controller is valve, and then the valve, the controller, the valve will be sending signal to the process. So what sort of process? Valve ni adalah controller. Dia akan controller berapa banyak masuknya additif ni. Okay. The process, apa dia proses? Dalam soalan ni, the process refer to mixer tube. Mixer tube. Which is yang ni lah kan, bahagian lepas valve ni kan, ni mixer tube lah. Right? Mixer tube lah bahagian ni. So output, saya nak pergi kepada measurement dulu, C. Okay, betul. Infrared analyzer. Measurement is infrared analyzer. Infrared analyzer. Kalau kita belajar apa, signal, electromagnetic spectrum, apa semua tu kan, itu penting ya. Infrared ni dia banyak kegunaan dia lah. Sebelum ni kita dah jumpa lah infrared dia untuk detect distance kan. Okay. Signal system, signal processing, semua kena belajar. Infrared analyzer in this case, which is used as a measurement of the chemical composition, chemical composition in industrial process like this lah. Okay, yang outputnya adalah daripada infrared analyzer tu, outputnya adalah measured chemical composition and will be compared to the desired what? Biasanya yang input dengan output ni, dia akan ada hint kat sini. Dia akan ada hint kat sini. Kan? Rasa tak? Setiap soalan macam tu kan? So, D is desired chemical composition. Chemical composition. Alright? So, that's it. A, B, C, D. We have fulfilled everything. The blank. Next, move on. We are going to talk about the nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plant. This is just a simple image of the nuclear power plant lah. Sebenarnya dia ada more complex blocks referring to the nuclear power plant. Basically, it will be controlled. The nuclear power plant tu biasanya dia akan control this control rod lah. Control rod ni akan control naik dan turun. So ada sort of actuator lah untuk naikkan dan turunkan rod ni. Supaya dia punya proses itu proses apa? Reaction tu kan? Reaction proses tu dalam reaktor ni kita dapat kontrol lah dengan menaikkan menurunkan rod ni. Dia ada banyak rod ni sebenarnya dalam nuclear reactor. So berlaku ionization process dan akan output current. Dalam ionization chamber ni akan output current. Ringkas saja gambar ni. Let me just read the problem 1.4. The accurate control of a nuclear reactor is important for power system generators. Assuming the number of neutron, neuron ni saraf apa? Neuron ni dalam badan kita kan. Neutrons dalam atom ada neutrons. Number of neutron present in the is proportional to the power level. An ionization chamber is used to measure the power level. Ionization chamber, this one apa guna dia? To measure the power level. Okay, to measure the current. When we get the current times V, voltage, then we get the power output. To measure the power level, the current I note is proportional to the power level. Okay, meaning that dia generator ni macam solar generator juga, solar PV kan. Solar PV kita constantkan voltage supaya yang irradiation tu akan menghasilkan current. Okay, bergantung kepada tahap cahaya lah. Bila irradiation tinggi, irradiance level tinggi, current tu akan menaik, akan meningkat. Tapi pada masa yang sama, voltage kita akan control constant. So that we can assume that the change of current is actually the change of power in that case. In this case pun sama. So as the current change, meaning that the power also change, which is P is proportional to the I naught. P is proportional to I naught. So in this control block diagram of the nuclear reactor, the controller. So what is the controller? kita nak control rod ni kan. Kita nak control rod ni. Kita menggunakan, basically we use the motor and the driver lah, right? So it's motor, and when we talk about driver, it is actually rectifier, ada dalam tu ada amplifier, semua all those electronics lah. Motor and amplifier. B, what is the process? Dalam nuclear reactor control block diagram ni, controller is motor and amplifier. The process is ada dalam ni, dalam the process is motor ni, dia punya controller, motor and amplifier. Process is something about rod and reactor. Rod and reactor. Process is rod and reactor. So C, measurement. What is measurement? Clearly indicated in that figure, which is ionization chamber. Ionization chamber. And then finally D, desired what? Input output. This is the power plant. So the desired current is also boleh lah. Sebab current is proportional to the power. But actually the answer here is desired power level. Desired power level. Okay. So that's it. A, B, C, D. For reactor, nuclear reactor power plant too. And lastly, we have P1.5, which is light seeking control system. Okay, light seeking control system, right? A light seeking control system used to track the sun is shown in the figure P15 ini ya. Ini bukan block diagram lah. Illustration of a light seeking control system that is used to track the position of the sun. Okay, the output shaft driven by the motor through a worm reduction gear has a bracket attached on which are mounted to photocells. Ada dua photocells. Complete the closed loop system so that the system follows the light source. So let's say this is the sun. This is the sun. Okay, this is the sun. Sun radiation. So ada macam dua cylinder light ni kan, tepi sebelah-sebelah ada sensor. This one is sensor lah, yang ni sensor. This one is sensor. Okay, dan ada plate kat sini dan bersambung ke motor, carriage and gears kat sini. Ada motor, carriage and gears, which is the mechanism that used to adjust the position ataupun ni lah, to adjust this. Okay, depends on light source. Okay, ada carriers, carriage, motor and gears kat sini carriage, motor and gears that will adjust this photocell tube ni supaya every time bila light source ni katalah pergi ke arah sini, so dia akan bergerak lah, follow the light source. Okay, apa yang menggerakkan benda ni? Bila ada gear ni, of course, yang disambungkan kepada gear itu adalah motor lah. So, apa yang menggerakkan motor adalah motor driver. Okay. Okay. So, let's talk about this block diagram. Block diagram dia macam ni, which is we have A as input and we have measurement of the input, and output from the measurement is the light intensity, which is the input of the controller. Okay, and output of the controller will be the desired carriage position. Alright, and this desired carriage position is the input of the block diagram that controls the photocell carriage position. Alright, and there is a feedback that measure the position of the photocell carriage. Feedback to here, and will be process the error compared with this actual photocell carriage position. Actual position akan di compare dengan desired carriage position, and controller will process the error. Ni transfer function lah. K itu refer to transfer function. Controller will process the error and output to the process. So, ditulis kat sini ya. Motor input is input of the process. Proses tu apa? Yalah situ dah ada hint dah kat situ. Right? Okay. So we will start with A, which is block diagram that controls the desired carriage position. Block diagram ni berbeza sikit daripada sebelum ni lah. Dia ada dua controller dan. So what is A? What is A? It start from light source, right? You start from light source. This guy will be sensing this light source. So mean that in this block diagram, A is referring to the light source lah. Sumber cahaya. Okay. B, measurement of light source. What sort of mechanism that is used to measure the light source? Which is this part, right? Apa dia? Dalam kes ni, dual photocell. Panggil dual photocells. Two photocells. Dia kata two photocell dalam problems tu. Two photocells. So jawab two photocell pun sama. Dual photocells or two photocells. And C, controller. What sort of controller that process the light intensity? What sort of controller that process the light intensity? Before this, we were talking about drone. Drone for agricultural. Mana yang drone tadi? Unmanned area vehicle. Drone for agricultural tadi, dia ada proses juga. Map correlation algorithm, location with respect to the ground. Kalau dalam kes ni, ada keywords dalam drone tadi. Dalam P1.5 ni ada tak keywords tu? Untuk system tak ada. So what is the controller? Light intensity will be controlled by the trajectory planner. Okay, trajectory planner. Dia punya apa dia? Trajectory planner ni. Salah satu daripada dalam bahagian ni lah trajectory planner ni. Okay. Oops. Oh, hilang. Hilang. Okay, tiba-tiba komputer hang. Tak apalah. Mungkin sekejap lagi dia blue screen. Sebelum dia blue screen tu, D adalah jawapan dia motor carriage and gears. Motor carriage and gears. I don't know whether you are listening or not because my PC is having problem now. Ini komputer lama tau. So jawapannya A light source, B dua photocells or two photocells, C trajectory planner, and D is motor, carriage and gears. I hope you can see this because my computer is having problem now. But it's okay because it's about the time now that we will finish this discussion up to this 11:30 lah. So next week I will announce what we will do in our next week session. Maybe we will start another topic the new topic which is topic 2, modeling mathematical modeling. So up to this time I will finish lah this session lebih awal lah hari ni. Sebab ni hari Khamis ada nak pergi bercuti. Mungkin saya nak stop recorder ni dulu.